just some examples. But this is going to become more and more critical as we go forward from here. More and more critical. Now, next problem. How do you find your intuition, and how do you keep it tuned in? Because of course we've all had the experience, right? We've all had the experience of our intuition. Usually it's fleeting. It's a little thing and then it goes away. And then it's clouded with all this doubt about, was that even my own thought, or all that stuff, right? The mind just jumps right on you and This mind thing is not your friend, friends. It's a parasitic, self-indulgent, self-preservation mechanism. It would rather be right than you be alive. The mind. You've probably had friends who denied that there was anything wrong with them because the mind said, that can't happen, that can't be there, nope, it's not right. It wouldn't go for treatment, let alone alternative treatment, and they're not here anymore. They were right until they actually kicked it. This is not a fairy tale. I mean, the mind would rather be right in a lot of people than be alive. So getting a good grip on this thing is really important. And having this engaged really puts the mind in its place, where it becomes just a tool rather than an identity. So how do you do that? Well, intuition is your own personal knowing, right? And all knowing comes from a source. We don't have to give it a name even. It just comes from somewhere. And it comes in a flow, more or less. It's like there we go. We'll have this flow of creation. See, the source of this flow would necessarily be the source of all knowing, because all that happens is coming out, all that exists is coming this way. So, here we have your consciousness in this flow of event. Okay? Here we go. Like this. Oh boy, it's getting quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. Your consciousness is oriented by time and place. In this flow. Have you noticed that when you have an intuitive moment, it seems like time doesn't go by at all? Until way later and you go, wow, where'd all the time go? But for that time, you would just be in there. In one moment, just like it was a flow. Okay? This is the schematic of how this works. When you're in your intuition, you're centered in that flow of information. The trick is to stay there. It's not so easy with everything that's going on and with your mind preying on you. But the Maya had two things on this side. One, things were going slower, but they had a couple of other orientations. We are oriented, our consciousness and our society is oriented by time and place. Time and place, time and place. Physical, 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 physical. The Maya had some more help. They had this orientation right here, which is called personal intent. One through 13. Have you ever been someplace you didn't really intend to be? Like at school or at work? or the middle of an argument, did you feel centered or did you feel uncentered? Did you feel centered or were you like off-center? Okay, me too. When I was someplace I didn't really intend to be, I felt off-center. But these guys knew their personal intent. They had that orientation. So it was easier for them to recognize when they were doing what they intended to do with this lifetime. That would help to keep you centered, wouldn't it? If you felt like, right away, if you felt like that wasn't happening, you'd get back onto what you were supposed to do. Okay? They also had this orientation, this major orientation right here, called the divine plan. In our civilization, there is no plan. It's been 16 billion years of happy little accidents that ended up with you sitting on that chair. That's the way our science looks at it. It might as well have been an explosion in a chemical factory that produced you here. There was no divine plan. These guys had a divine plan. They knew, and that there were 20 different aspects of creation. Like a dodecahedron, you know, the geometry figure, 20-sided figure. So this personal intent and this orientation to the divine plan, that is the recognition of your part in the divine plan, that produces a symbol in the Mayan civilization. This diagram right here has a name. It's called the 8th Division Sky Place. And that symbol stands for heaven. You've been there. There are moments in your life when you were oriented by time and place. You knew you were doing what you desired or wanted to do, and you knew you were a part of something much larger than yourself. Felt cool, didn't it? Heavenly, huh? This is the importance of this calendar. The Mayan calendar was never about time. It was always about measuring and keeping track of the flow of creation and the intent of creation and the aspect of creation every single day. Remember, there's one law in the universe. What you pay attention to, you become conscious of. So what if every day you were paying attention to the energy of this flow of creation? What would you become conscious of? So would it be easier to have your consciousness attuned to your intuition? Easier isn't all that good a word. It's automatic. Without any effort, without any thinking about it at all. And I mean no meditating, I mean no, just forget it. You look in the morning to see what the intent of creation is for that day. Then you go and you live your life. The Maya woke up every morning and celebrated the day for the purpose it served onto creation, and then went and lived their lives. Every day. You know what the word entrainment is? Entrainment is the automatic syncopation of life forms or even mechanical objects.